Here we have an example in which we're taking an expression and we want to write it as a complex number. Okay, how are we going to do that? Well, first off, we know that anytime you have a negative inside of a root, it sends out an I. Because negative inside of a square root is imaginary. You can't have that. You can't take the square root of a negative number. So it's imaginary. So this becomes I square root of 1 over I square root of 8, I square root of 6. Okay, so now what do we do from here? Well, we can cancel this I and this I. And so what do we get? Square root of 1, that's just plain 1, isn't it? Over square root of 8 and 6 can multiply to be 48I. Okay, now, here is an important point. We cannot leave square roots or i's in the denominator. We must multiply by the square root and the I, top and bottom. Let's multiply by the square root and the I, top and bottom. Okay, so I've got to come in here. What this means is I've got to come in here and I've got to go multiply. Oh, wait. First off, let me simplify the square root of 48. So let me take that over here. Square root of 48, if you break it down, it's 6 times 8, which is 2 times 3, 2 times 4, and that 4 is 2 times 2. So we have, notice, 1, 2, 3, 4 2's and a 3. So the square root of 48 is 4 2's and a 3. Okay, so what do we do about that? Well, I don't know if you remember. Well, think with me. Square root of 9, you know that's 3, right? Okay. Let's talk about what that means. What's in a 9 is 2 3's. 9 is 3 times 3. You know that. So look at what that means really just happened there. 2 9's inside the square root led to 2 3's. 2 3's inside the square root led to 1 3 outside. Do you see that? That's what the square root of 9 equals 3 means. I know that means it's a 2-for-1 deal. It's like shopping at Target. Things are on sale 2 for 1, meaning 2 3's inside, 1 3 outside. That's what square root of 9 equals 3 really means, doesn't it? I know we don't stop and think about it probably, but that's what square roots do, 2-for-1 deal, right? Because a 9 is really 2 3's. So 2 3's inside, a 9 inside leads to 1 3 outside. All right, well, that's what square roots always do. They do a 2-for-1 deal. So let's go back up and do that. 2 2's inside the root lead to 1 2 outside, and they're gone. Another 2 2's inside the root leads to another 2 outside. They're gone, and these guys are going to multiply on the outside just like they were multiplying in the inside. So what do we get? 2 times 2, 4. On the outside, what's left on the inside? All that's left is that 3. He can't come out because there's not 2 of them, right? Only when there's 2 3's on the inside or 2 2's can you come out. It's a 2-for-1 deal. So there we go. So what is that? That's the simplification of the square root of 48. Square root of 48, break it all down to its little pieces, 4 2's and a 3, and then 2 2's sends a 2 out, 2 2's sends a 2 out, 2 times 2, 4 outside with a 3 left on the inside. So the breakdown on a root 48 is 4 root 3. So, okay, what does that mean? That means this becomes 1 over 4 root 3 I. Now, back to this note. We cannot leave a root or an I in the denominator. We have both a root and an I. The 4 is fine. He's not a problem, but the root and the I are. We must multiply by the root and the I, top and bottom. So I'm going to come down here and go, okay, I'm going to multiply by the root 3 and the I. The root 3 and the I, top and bottom, notice. Top and bottom. Not the 4. We don't have a problem with the 4. He's good. Okay, so what becomes of that? Well, 1 times root 3i is going to be just root 3i. What about the bottom? 4, bring him down, root 3, that's root of 9. I times I, that's I squared, isn't it? Okay, now can we simplify that? Well, yeah. The root 9, you know, is 3, and I squared, what's I squared? -1. And of course the 4 is just 4. So that's really 4 times 3 times -1, isn't it? That's -12 down there. Do you see that? Because the 4 is just 4, the root of 9 is 3, and I squared is -1. So 4 times 3 times -1, that's -12. 4 times 3 is 12, times -1 is -12. And we're done. There is our answer. What did we notice? We still have a square root and an I in the top. They're fine in the top. We just cannot leave a root or an I in the denominator. It's fine in the top. So that's how we simplify that, just like that.